What's the one mistake you wish young people never repeat?
What I lost and gained in life. Let me share my story with you.
I'm 89 years old. I wake up most mornings in a quiet room, and the first thing I feel is not pain or fear, but the absence of voices. There was a time when silence felt like control to me. Now it feels like consequence. I'm not telling this because I want forgiveness. Most of the people who might forgive me are gone, or too far away, or no longer interested. I'm telling it because I don't have much time left, and truth weighs less when you finally set it down. At this age, days don't stretch, they fold into each other. Breakfast tastes the same as yesterday. The clock moves, but it doesn't rush. I notice things now that I never did when life was loud. How the light comes in through the window at an angle I can't remember seeing before. How my own footsteps sound heavier in the hallway. How my phone stays still for days. Loneliness doesn't arrive all at once. That's the part people don't understand. It doesn't knock. It doesn't announce itself. It settles in quietly, like dust. One day you realize you're breathing it. People assume loneliness comes from being unwanted. Sometimes it comes from being too certain of yourself. I was proud, not loud proud, not cruel, just firm. I believed in standing on my own feet. I believed needing others was a weakness you should outgrow. I believed respect came from distance. That belief served me well for a long time. At least it looked like it did. I worked hard. I kept my word. I didn't ask for help unless it was absolutely necessary. People described me as reliable, solid, strong. I took that seriously. In my 20s, I was already careful with affection. I didn't rush into friendships. I didn't share doubts. I listened more than I spoke, and when I spoke, I chose my words like they would be remembered forever. I thought that made me wise. In my 30s, work filled the hours. Long days, tired evenings. I told myself I was building something that would matter, that the people in my life would understand the sacrifices once the dust settled. There was always a future moment I was preparing for. I didn't ignore people outright. That's important to say. I answered calls. I showed up when it was important. But I decided what was important, and it was usually me being needed for something practical, not emotional. I wasn't good at sitting with people in their uncertainty. I preferred solutions, fixes, results. When someone wanted to talk just to talk, I felt restless. When someone was upset without a clear reason, I felt impatient. I didn't see that as unkind. I saw it as efficient. My wife used to say, I listened with my head, not with my body. I didn't know what she meant. I thought listening was listening. She would tell me about her day, about small disappointments, about worries that didn't have names yet. I would nod, offer advice, suggest improvements. I thought I was being useful. She grew quieter over the years. I thought that meant peace. I didn't notice the way conversations shortened, how laughter came less often, how she stopped waiting for me to respond. I assumed stability was enough. Raising children was similar. I provided. I showed up for milestones. I made sure there was food, education, structure. I believed love was demonstrated through responsibility. When they were upset, I reminded them they were safe. When they struggled, I told them to work harder. I meant well. I truly did. I thought comfort was something you earned after proving yourself. Looking back now, I see how often I chose pride over closeness, not because I didn't care, but because I didn't know how to bend without feeling like I was breaking. There were moments, small ones, invitations I declined because I was tired, conversations I postponed because I didn't have the energy, apologies I didn't offer because I felt misunderstood. Each one seemed reasonable on its own. I told myself there would be time later, when work slowed down, when things were less complicated, when I felt more certain. Later became a habit. I remember a Sunday afternoon when my wife asked me to sit with her on the porch. Just sit. I told her I had paperwork to finish. It was true. The paperwork got done. She never asked again. At the time, that felt like relief. Years passed. Children grew up. They called less often. I told myself that was normal. They had lives. I had taught them independence. This was proof it worked. When holidays became quieter, I blamed distance, schedules, weather. I didn't consider that silence can be a response. After my wife died, the house changed immediately, not just because she was gone, but because there was no one left who expected me to soften. People checked in at first. They brought food. They sat with me. I appreciated it, but I didn't let it linger. I told them I was fine. I meant it in the way proud people mean it. I wasn't falling apart. I wasn't asking for anything. I was managing. Over time, the visits stopped. Calls became occasional. I didn't reach out. I didn't want to impose. I told myself solitude suited me. But solitude and loneliness are not the same thing. Solitude is chosen. Loneliness is what remains when choice runs out. Now, at 89, I understand the cost of never wanting to need anyone. You don't just avoid burdening others, you train them to stop offering. The world doesn't punish you for pride, it simply steps back. I sit with memories now, not the dramatic ones, the ordinary ones I dismissed too quickly. A look that lingered, a question I answered too sharply, a moment where staying would have mattered more than being right. I didn't fail at life. That's not what this is. I lived, I worked, I provided, I kept my name clean. But I confused strength with distance, and distance, given enough years, turns into absence. I didn't understand the full weight of it until my body started failing in small, ordinary ways. Nothing dramatic, no sudden collapse, just slower mornings, hands that shook a little when pouring tea, a knee that reminded me of every stair I had ever climbed without complaint. That's when I noticed how few people knew my routines anymore, how no one would notice if I skipped a meal, how my absence from the world would register late, if at all. There was a hospital visit a few years ago, routine tests. They kept me overnight. The nurse asked,
Please tell me emergency contact number.
I hesitated, not because there was no one, but because I didn't know who would come without feeling obliged. I named my son. We speak once every few months, polite conversations, updates exchanged like weather reports. He came. He was kind. He stayed longer than I expected. But there was a distance I couldn't cross anymore. Not anger, just formality. I realized then that relationships don't survive on history alone. They survive on maintenance, on small, repeated acts of closeness. I assumed shared blood or shared years would do the work for me. That night, lying in the hospital bed, listening to machines hum, I felt something I hadn't allowed myself to feel before. Not fear of death, fear of being unknown. People think pride looks like confidence.
Sometimes it looks like emotional economy, only investing where you're sure of the return. I didn't want to risk being misunderstood. I didn't want to explain myself. I didn't want to appear weak. So I kept things neat, controlled, predictable. What I didn't see was that love is messy by nature. It asks for time you don't schedule. It asks for patience when you'd rather retreat. It asks you to stay when leaving would be easier. I left a lot, quietly. Not physically, emotionally. I remember arguments I thought I had won, silence that followed. I mistook that silence for acceptance. It was distance forming. After my wife died, I found notes in old drawers, grocery lists, reminders, small handwriting, ordinary things. What struck me wasn't what she wrote, it was what she didn't. No complaints, no accusations.
She had already given up on being heard. That realization didn't come with tears, it came with heaviness, a slow understanding that some opportunities don't repeat. You don't get another chance to be present in moments that have already passed. Now, conversations happen mostly in my head, things I would say differently, questions I would ask without trying to solve them, apologies without explanations attached. I practice them in the quiet. They go nowhere. Loneliness in old age isn't about being alone in a room. It's about having no unfinished conversations left that can still be answered. People stop asking how you feel, not because they don't care, but because you trained them to expect distance. I don't blame anyone. That would be dishonest. I built this life carefully. There is gratitude mixed in with the sorrow. I had years many don't get. I saw my children grow. I shared love, even if imperfectly. But I underestimated how fragile connection can be when it's not tended. If I could speak to someone younger, I wouldn't tell them to abandon ambition or responsibility. Those things matter. I would tell them that presence is not a reward you earn later. It's the work itself. That listening without fixing is not weakness. That letting someone see you unsure doesn't make you smaller. That pride is a quiet thing. It doesn't announce the damage it's doing until it's finished. If this story reaches you, take it for what it is. Not advice, not instruction. Just a man at the end of his life admitting that being strong cost him closeness, and closeness was the thing he missed most when strength stopped being useful. I don't have many years left, I know that. I move slowly, I sleep more, I forget names. But I remember this clearly. No one sits at the end wishing they had protected their pride more carefully. They wish they had let themselves be known. That's all I wanted to say.
We're grateful to meet you. Thank you for the lesson and your precious time.